let's get to it. My top 10 favorite fall things. Number 10, I hate cutting the lawn. I do. It's not fun for me. I do it. It's a lot. Let's just say that. It is a lot. It especially during the summertime too, it can become, it's overwhelming. You cut it and before you know it, yeah, I don't know. Maybe when going from spring to summertime, or winter to springtime, you start to appreciate the lawn cutting process some. But I don't know, because I usually end up having to do it after work, which is the last thing I want to do. But it's it's got to be done, so I try to lean into it. I just want to get it done. I come home sweaty, dirty, disgusting from work. All right, let's just get to it and cut the lawn, because I'm going to be sweaty, dirty, and disgusting after that as well. So the lawn cutting season being over or almost over is wonderfully enticing. I have only actually cut my lawn once since July. Yes. And it was actually probably a couple of weeks ago. And I may only have one more lawn cutting to go. It's been so hot and not much rain that the grass hasn't been growing nearly as quickly. Got a lot of weeds coming up, and that's usually what needs to be cut down. But I like that I don't have to be out there all the time. I like that I can come home and actually relax. All right, there's pulling up, coming back home from work and having to see your lawn grown and overgrown, so to speak, is it's not enjoyable. It is not a fun sight, and I want to just destroy it as soon as I get home. So it is nice that I get to come home and chill out, at least until the snow starts falling. So that's my number 10. Number 9, I picked a flannel today because I love flannel season. Used to be all that I wore, to be perfectly honest with you. It was a bit of a fashion statement for myself. Somebody who grew up wearing graphic T-shirts all of the time and all sorts of different graphic hoodies, I guess. But flannel was probably the first fashion trend that I ever really got into, and it's pretty cool. I like the material. I like that it usually comes with it. I like the different patterns and color combinations. It looks right. I don't know. You can wear flannel during winter time, but it doesn't feel wintry, if that makes sense. I hope this all makes sense. But wearing flannel, it's nice. I got it long sleeve right now, even though it's probably a little short for my arms. But if it's too hot, I can just roll up the sleeves and it's good to go. If I get too hot internally, I can just roll up the sleeves and go. Where wintertime feels like a lot of hoodie weather, a lot of heavy jacket kind of weather. But flannel season to me is just right. It is perfect and probably my favorite clothing fashion. Maybe that's a list that we could do sometime. But that's my number 9. Number 8, scary movies just hit better during the fall time. All right, as those nights start to wind down at 8, 7, o'clock at night, nighttime just feels differently. And of course, that means watching scary movies. I cannot wait to do some of our fall-themed lists, especially once October gets here, all right, which is basically a month of scary, spooky stuff, and there will be a scary movies list. I cannot wait to do that, but they just hit differently. I don't know. I don't enjoy watching scary films in the summertime or even the wintertime, and obviously this is kind of I guess is it a bit of a social construct that we view this time of year the way that we do? But yeah, scary movies just hit better during autumn. And then after Halloween, I don't know. I'm moving on. I'm moving on. From late September to October. I know there's a whole culture of people who do scary movies all year long, but to me, month and a half between September and the end of October, scary movies are the best and hit differently. So that's my number 8. Number 7, I'm going to go hay rides. They're fun. I mean, it could be a haunted hay ride. It could be a regular, just a regular hay ride. I enjoy it. The haunted ones are fun. It's creepy. It's scary. I went on one last year, and it was a pretty good time. But even if you're just going on a normal hay ride, it's just kind of cool to sit and relax and enjoy this sort of thing, right? My good friend Bill, we call him Super Beast. I know him through wrestling, but he used to love getting hayride groups together during this time of year, and I wish I would have taken him up on one or two of those. But yeah, hayrides are a good time. That's my number 7. Number 6, I was just talking about it with my number 8 entry. It is the spirit of Halloween. All right, I am not now that I'm a dad, I can start to enjoy and appreciate Halloween again. I can see things. I can see certain holidays through my kids' eyes instead of my own. I didn't care for Halloween after a certain age, partially because I never got invited to Halloween parties as a high school or college kid, I guess. Well, there was that one time, and then I just blew it off. But I don't know. The aura around Halloween is so fun, and I love seeing the decorations. Shout out to people who still decorate their lawns. All right, there's still a lot of people who do it, but I love to see how creative people get. Some of these giant skeleton decorations, all the cool blow-up stuff. I love that. And as a kid, through the holidays, that was our one of the best things to do is hop in a car and let's just go have a chill night. All right, whole family, we're going to ride around and just scope out cool houses with decorations. They do contests, and it was publicized in papers and stuff. And you just go check them out. And Halloween was always really it was a really cool one. Where my Mima lived, I remember we always had to turn a corner, a certain corner to her house, and ironically enough, that corner was I had an apartment on that in that area, but there was a house that had I believe it was all 4 of the main kind of monsters. Actually, I don't even know now. I know there's a Frankenstein. I know there's a Dracula. I'm pretty sure there was a mummy, and there might have been one more. But it had flashing lights it was a big window, and you could see through it. But I remember this vividly. But it had flashing lights, and it was cool and scary, and it was one of my favorite parts of going to my Mima's house during that time in my life. And that's, to me, exciting stuff. I love to see how creative people get with their Halloween decorations. As a football fan, I love watching people like Myles Garrett and some of these defensive players have their quarterback sack graveyards. I think that's the coolest thing. There's a lot to look at. I love it. So the spirit of Halloween, obviously, I get to see it a little bit differently, and seeing my kid dressed up, I love. But the spirit of Halloween and a lot of the things that encompass it are one of my top 10 fall things. Number 5, I haven't had the chance to do this in a long time, but one of my favorite dates that I ever went on with my now wife was apple picking. All right, we did it at a place called Becker Farms here in Western New York, which was a hotbed for it. And silly old me, I bought way too many apples. I bought a big old bucket of it. I didn't know how to apple pick properly. All right, what was the right amount? So I just got a giant bag of apples. But it was cool, the concept of, all right, here's a bunch of fruit, pay X amount of dollars, here's a bag, go and pick it. It was something peaceful and special and fun about that. And I like it. You go, you look, you analyze. Oh, this is a perfect piece of fruit. Pick it, throw it in your bag, and you move on. And it was a really great date. It was a really great date. I hope I get to do it again. Especially now with my son, to go apple picking. I think it'd be fun. All right, but yeah, it's been a long time since I've gotten to do it. A lot of fruit picking in general, I think, is just works during the fall. I'm not sure. I feel like berries are more of a summertime one, but yeah, apple picking. That's my number 5. Number 4, as somebody who loves photography and a lot of just earthy stuff, being in great environments, I love fall foliage. All right, I don't live too far away from the Niagara Gorge, and it's such a cool sight to see when it's fall colors, right? The browns, the oranges, the sometimes purples. All right, I'm looking at the Niagara Gorge, and it's surrounded by all these trees. And, wintertime, you can see a lot because there's no leaves. It's just barren trees. Springtime, all right, the greens are starting to come back. Summertime, fully green. But autumn is perfect to look at that, to look at the Niagara Gorge and see so many pretty colors. Oh, man, I wish I could properly capture it in a photo. I really haven't tried much. Maybe I should this year. But it's a beautiful sight to behold. Wooded areas especially. There's certain roads that I've driven on. When I was laid off of work, I used to travel anywhere I can go and try and get nature photography done. And some of these wooded areas with the fall foliage, just beautiful to be around of. It just feels different, right? It has a fun aura to it, being in the middle of it. I got to seek out more of this stuff. But fall foliage is my number 4. Number 3, bonfires hit differently during the fall time. I enjoy having, these small fires, bonfires, etc. During the summertime, it's a nice way to do it, but it just feels better during this time of year, right? During fall, because the nights are a lot cooler, so you appreciate the heat a lot more. I love huddling up next to a fire pit, and I got it's shorts and hoodie weather, which I think is another great thing. I didn't put it on my top 10 list, but that's usually the move, right? It's balance. You're just cool enough, but just warm enough, and that bonfire just hits great. It just feels so much better when it's heat on heat, right? It's the middle of summertime, and you got a fire going. Yeah, it's still a nice time. That aura, that feeling of being around a fire pit is always nice, but it feels different and better as the weather starts to get cooler. So bonfires, fire pits, etc. Just hit better during fall. That's my number 3. Number 2, flavors. All right, apple, pumpkin. Somebody mentioned cinnamon, which I'd never really thought of. I'm so closed-minded that it was really apple and pumpkin season, but fall flavors are really good, really good. When it comes to coffee, people are busting them out. I like the different ciders. All right, I don't drink hard cider anymore, but apple cider is really nice, and it was a hard apple cider back in the day was really good. Pumpkin flavor. Donuts. I used to love pumpkin flavored beer when I drank. I forgot who did it, but it was called Pump King. And what a great beer that was. What a great beer. If you drink, all right, and are looking for a great fall beer, try a Pump King. Or Angry Orchard Red Apple or some of these other apple flavored stuff. But there's so much that goes in with fall, and it's just stuff that hits differently during this time of year. So that's my number 2 is the fall flavors. And number 1, football season and football weather. if I am asked, which I'm not asked much, I will go and play two-hand touch, flag football, whatever it may be. And it's just better during fall time. All right. And even like going to games, I feel like it, obviously the season starts towards the twilight of summer, all right, first week of September. And it eventually becomes like this fall thing. But I used to love it. I used to love playing in it. And I love going to games in it, especially here in Buffalo. Because it was shorts, it was hoodie underneath the jersey kind of weather, and it was great. And then when I did drink, you go to these games and you drink in the tailgate to stay warm, and it holds you over throughout the game. It's hard to explain if you've never been to an outdoor football game before, about how the weather makes it all feel, how it just encompasses it and makes it feel special. But I do. And now that I've been able to push back and not get so enthralled in football culture year-round, not get too wrapped up in it, but find reasons to enjoy it, make it feel more special, I appreciate it. I appreciate football weather. I appreciate playing in it and getting to watch it live. It's significant. So there it is, everybody. My top 10 fall things.